When a new lead comes in, we quite often spend a lot of time researching that business online to determine whether they are a good fit for us as a customer. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can use HubSpot's smart properties to fully automate this research for you. It's basically sort of like ChatGPT disguised as a simple property that will fill itself. So first of all, what are smart properties? Smart properties are simply properties that have a prompt attached to them, and this prompt is like a prompt that you would use in ChatGPT, where you tell AI how to research what you're looking for and give you the answer. But instead of it just giving you the answer as a chat message, it will actually just fill out the specific property for you. This is also different from contact and company enrichment because this is data coming from HubSpot's database, where they enrich data for us. The reason why you would use them is to save a lot of time doing that research manually, looking at the company's website, doing research through Google maybe, or even using tools like ChatGPT and Google Gemini. Do know that the smart properties use HubSpot credits, so make sure to use them for the right use cases where it's actually valuable for you. The credits are still going to be less expensive than what it would be to put in the time to research all of these things, especially when there's a certain volume to them. Smart properties are available in all hubs, so without further ado, let me share my screen right after you like this video, subscribe to the channel for more HubSpot excellence, and let's dive in. So when we're in HubSpot, where do we find these smart properties? We'll go to settings. We're going to go to company properties. Going to click on manage company properties. And then we're just going to click on create property. You can also use AI to create properties, but in this case, we're just going to create it manually. And then we need a label for this property. So what are we researching? The first thing that I want to research is whether a company is B2B, B2C, B2G, so business to government, or non-profit. These are already 4 buckets that do adhere to MISI, so they're mutually exclusive, collectively exhaustive, meaning that a company would always fit in one of these buckets. I'll just call it company type in this case. I always like to add a description as well. This is a quite simple one, but sometimes you also just want to add a little bit more information. So when you have new users in the account and they are not entirely sure what company type means, they can always refer back to the description. So in this case, there's only one option that would be applicable. So we are going to make this a drop-down select, and I will add the different options that I just listed. So now we have our options. And now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to smart property prompt. And here you can see this is where we use the data agent to automatically fill in property values by generating and extracting data from a variety of sources. So when we select this, you can see that we have a couple of options to get this data, like where the data should come from. So we have web research, where we use the entire internet to research what we're looking for. We also have the company website. In this case, we will only look at the company website. Then we have property data, in which case we only look at properties that we already have in HubSpot, and we can also use call transcripts to extract that data from as well. In this case, we're going to go for web research, and then you're going to enter a prompt. So in this case, I'm going to ask to research the business to determine whether they're B2B, B2C, B2G, or nonprofit. But as you can see here, we can also get suggested prompts, and often they're actually quite good. So in this case, I'll actually show you what this comes up with. So identify whether this company primarily sells to businesses, consumers, government, or is mission-driven nonprofit based on public information. And then when I use this prompt, you can see that it makes it a little bit more specific, and then we can test this out. So now once we have all of the information in here, we're gonna test out our prompts with some preview results. And for these examples, we're going to use Delta Airlines, we're going to use Goods for the Study, and we're going to use Ukmong. Some of my favorite businesses, Goods for the Study is a very fun store in New York that has like all kinds of stationery. And now we have Ukmong as well. Well, that's interesting that it puts Delta Airlines as B2B though. Let's see why it came up with that. Oh, so it says Delta Airlines mainly targets business travelers via Delta Business, but also serves general passengers. I don't know, maybe that's true, maybe it's not. I'll see how it comes up with the other examples. But as you can see, when a property gets filled out, a smart property gets filled out, you do get that AI icon next to it, which will give you some clarification about why it is saying that it's B2C or B2B in this case. And these do look very accurate. This is all great information. So we're going to save this. That's one example. Before I get to my next example, make sure to subscribe to my weekly newsletter, HubSpot Excellence, down in the description of the video, and you will get weekly insider tips like the ones that I'm teaching today that will help you get to HubSpot Excellence with your own business. So let's get to the next one, where we're going to determine whether the business is mainly selling products or services. So we're going to create a new property. Again, this is going to be, well, actually, they can sell products and services. So in this case, let's say product or service driven. And then in this case, we're going to do multiple checkboxes since we have multiple options. Let's say, does this business sell products and or services? Then we'll go to the smart property prompt again. We'll select this. We'll use, let's try the company website in this case. And then we're again going to use the suggested prompt because as I said, usually they work pretty well. I'm going to add that in here. So from the target company's website, determine whether it primarily operates as a product-focused business or service-focused business, or a mix of both, based on how it describes what it offers to customers. So again, we're going to go with Delta Airlines, we're going to go with Goods for the Study, and we're going to go with Ukmonk. So Delta Airlines services, that's accurate. Ukmonk sells products, which is also accurate. Maybe we just need to skip this one and yeah, it's not able to determine this one. Okay, so as you can see, sometimes it is not able to find the right results. In this case, I would say like one thing we could do is change it to web research and then give it another try. In that case, we also need to update the prompt. Let's quickly test what this will do. So as you can see here, now it does come up with products and the explanation is also correct. So this might in this case be a better option for this specific smart property. So we're going to save this. We're going to do 2 more in this video, all of them highly relevant to determine the fit of a business for you as a customer. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to determine how they sell their products. Do they sell them online or do they sell them in store? So we're going to say online, in-store, or both. Then we'll do multiple checkboxes again. We'll say online, in-store. And then we're going to go to our data agent again. We're going to use web research. We're going to use AI to create that prompt as well. Identify whether this company's primary sells through digital channels, physical locations, or a mix of both. So we'll add that in there. Then we're going to say Delta Airlines, Goods for the Study, and Ukmonk. So let's see how these come up. So we have a first one, Delta Airlines, which says online and in-store, which I think probably is accurate since indeed you can also book them through travel agencies. Ukmonk is also going to be accurate because as far as I know, they do not have any physical stores. And I think they're also not available in physical stores, but they definitely do not have any of their own. And then for Goods for the Study, let's see what it comes up with there. It does seem that that's like the more difficult one to research, which I can also imagine since it's very small. Yeah, so it couldn't find results there. We're just going to leave it at that for now. Now, the last one we're going to do is the company size based on the number of employees. So we'll create a new one. We'll say company size, employees. Then for this one, we're going to use a number field. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to smart property prompts, select this one. Again, we'll use web research. Research and estimate the current number of employees for this company based on reliable web sources, such as the company's website, press releases, and reputable business directories, and return only a single numeric value representing the approximate employee count. So we're going to try that for Delta Airlines. We're going to try that for Goods for the the study, which might not give us a great result. And then we're going to try it for Ukmong as well. Let's see what we get for this one. So Delta Airlines, it says we have 103,000 employees in 2024. Then for goods for the study, we actually did find the amount of employees, which says it's estimated 142, although there are different ranges. But the most specific figure aligning with multiple sources, 142. And then Ukmong, I do know that it is a family business, so it does seem accurate that there's 3 employees there. So yeah, this looks accurate as well. So here you can see how you can use these smart properties to easily research these things without the need for each new lead that comes in, having to look through their website, Google some things, go to LinkedIn, find some more data there. You all have the data available immediately. This especially makes it easy if you want to do some lead scoring as well, because this is specifically important for the fit part of the lead scoring. I'll link my video about lead scoring up here, by the way, if you want to watch that one next. Do keep in mind that you test these prompts before deploying them, because as we noticed here in this video, and that's also why I'm not editing it out, sometimes it might not be able to find the right results, or sometimes when you click the AI icon, you might find that it didn't exactly search like you wanted it to. You're also able to see the sources, by the way. I didn't mention it in the video directly, but here you can see where they got this information from. So you can always fine tune that as well. And of course, be mindful that this uses HubSpot credits. So make sure that you're using it for the right things where you get the most value out of it. And if you need any help setting up these systems or anything else within HubSpot, feel free to reach out to me. You have a link in the description where you can do that. My name is Jasper. I'm a certified HubSpot consultant. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.